Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is Sanya with you all. And actually this is the first time talking in front of the camera and I'm actually quite nervous. But today I'm gonna talk about what happened with me a few months ago. I actually got bit by a cat. And I would say that was actually one of my worst phase of my life because the recovery was too long. I'm gonna put all the pictures on the screen so you guys can see how it happened, okay, and what are the phases I went through. So I got a call from one of my friends and he was like, there's this cat who has been hit by a car. I was like, okay, let's go and rescue the cat. So we went there to the scene, okay. So the cat was actually in pain, but was really very aggressive. So what happened? I tried, but I couldn't hold the cat properly because she was trying to bite me. So what happened? My friend, he pulled the cat from the neck part, and what happened? She got out of control and she bit my feet, and you won't believe her tooth were inside my feet for almost 15 to 20 seconds, I would say. Yeah, I was screaming, and you know what my friend did? He just pulled the cat back, okay, and I was bleeding at this part. I applied the medication, okay, I did the bandage, but I was like, okay, it's normal, I will go to the hospital, get my shots, and I would be all good. So the next day, I went to the hospital. Okay, I got my TT shot, and then they recommended the rabies vaccine. So I got five of them. Okay, with 2 days break, I think. Yeah. So what happened? I thought I would actually get perfect because even before this, what, rescuing dogs, I got bit twice, once here and once here. But after the shots, everything was good. But those were dogs. And this time it was a cat. I was actually quite nervous. So what happened was after 2 weeks, okay, I noticed that when I'm walking, okay, so I actually walk a lot while feeding stray animals in my area. So I noticed that there's a slight pain. So the moment I came home, I removed my shoes. My feet was this swollen, as you can see in the image, like this swollen. I was like, what the hell? Yeah, and then I was completely shocked. And then that day itself, okay, at night, we went to the hospital and they transferred me to another hospital that day. And that's where I came to know that I need to get a surgery done. So they gave me a date after 2 days, literally 2 days. For 2 straight days, I was in pain, so much in pain that I was not even able to walk. I was not even able to take one step. My family helped me a lot during those 2 days. And after 2 days, the next morning, I had to go through a surgery. I was actually quite nervous, to be very honest, because this was literally the first surgery of my life. I was like, what? I was actually quite nervous now. So, the next morning, so what happened the next morning? Okay, I went to the hospital. By the way, this is my lovely dog. His name is Onyx, and he's so rescue. I love him so much. My baby is such a cutie. He loves me so much. Okay, so what happened was the next day when I got my date, I was actually very nervous because this was my first surgery of my life, and I was actually scared for it. I was scared for my life, I'm not gonna lie. So the doctors, they called me to the room, okay. So that's where I got myself changed, and I was praying that it doesn't hurt. So they actually gave me a shot down there, okay, the anesthesia shot. Okay, so they actually gave me an anesthesia shot, on my feet. And I felt maybe after the shot, it wouldn't hurt much. But trust me, I literally, cried and screamed a lot. because the surgery was like, for like 30 to 45 minutes. And I was just crying the whole time. Because even after the anesthesia, I could feel all the pain. Okay, so there was actually like, a lot of birds trapped, okay, there. So they did like very deep 7 cuts. They made like 7 cuts, okay. And after the cuts, they took all the pus out, and I was not like, able to like control myself with all the screams and crying. Okay. It was really bad, I'm not gonna lie. The worst thing that happened to me. So what happened was, the doctor told me I'm not like, they won't stitch the wounds actually. So after that, I was like actually on the wheelchair. I was not able to walk a bit. So what happened was like, I was crying like a lot. Like, even when I reached home, I couldn't stop crying. I could still feel the pain down there. So the next day, okay, like the doctor called me like for straight 7 days for like, cleaning the wounds and everything. So after 7 days, the wounds started getting a bit better. But you know what? I was not able to walk for 1 month. I literally had to hire someone to actually feed all the animals in my area. It was like the worst time of my life, like not able to walk. Oh my god. I still can't believe, I went through that. It was actually the worst thing that happened to me, I would say, with this rescue in this rescue field. Oh my god. And after like a month, I was like able to walk, take like few steps. Oh my gosh. Like, you know what? Even though if you get bit by a dog or a cat, okay, even though like you get your shots done, just, monitor that place. If there is an increased swelling or redness, make sure you get checked by a doctor. In my case, okay, I was like, okay, the swelling might go after a few days, but no, it got worse. Like it truly got worse, and I had to go through a surgery. So sometimes, when you get bit by an animal, okay, the shots will help you, but not completely. Sometimes there's an infection trapped inside that wound. So make sure you get checked, by a doctor, okay, like as soon as like possible. Don't wait for it to like, worsen. I thought that it would get okay, but no, it didn't. And yeah, I was not able to walk for a month. That's what happened with me. So this is all about my story, guys, and more about myself. I actually feed over 350 plus stray dogs and cats in my area. I know that's a lot of numbers, but we have like a lot of stray animals here. So it takes actually 5 hours for me to feed all of them, like each one of them. Okay, and that's actually 5 hours of walking on daily basis. Even though I'm sick, I make sure I never skip a day. So I leave at 4 and I finish like around 9 p.m. And I also have my own rescues at home. So like the thing is like here, like out of 10 you will see only one people caring about the stray animals. Like if I don't go today, okay, they're not gonna have water and food. And temperature here exceeds like 50 degrees Celsius every summer. So I make sure I feed all of them, okay? And yeah, that's all about me. This is like my first ever blog, and I was actually quite nervous like at the start, but with time it got much better. So I hope you guys like, share, and support this channel like as much as you can because it's really good. So guys, thank you for watching. Please do like, share, and subscribe this channel. Bye bye. Hope you guys have a great day. I love you all.